All right, folks, welcome to the organizing step of your persuasive research project. Again, by now, the goal is that you believe you have gathered all the information you think you are going to need to actually move forward with this project. By the end of today's activity, you're going to have your information organized by the topic. Follow the steps below. It saves you a great deal of time and also helps you avoid some of the most common mistakes. By watching a screencast, you already know there's a screencast available for each step. Please use that as a resource, especially if you're working on this somewhat independently or you want to repeat what was shared during class. The first step for organizing is what we call the plan. You're going to organize your information not based on where it's from, which article or website it's from, but based on what the information is about. To do that, the first thing is to make a list of the sections your paper or project could be divided into. We're going to use the text structure you chose for your thesis as a guide. Since almost everyone is doing a problem solution, we'll use that as our main example. So for a way to organize a problem solution, typically, obviously, we have two main parts, the problem and the solution. Depending on what your structure is, many of you so far are looking at more than one piece of a solution. Therefore, I'm suggesting that one section is the problem and two sections are the two different solutions or ideas for solutions you're going to promote in your project. I put some extra bullets here as a way of breaking that down for when you have the problem. You're probably not putting everything about the problem all together lumped in one section or paragraph. So maybe you break it down by what the problem is or the other W's of that problem, and maybe you also include a portion on what caused that problem. Now, what caused the problem could actually be first before you go into the problem itself and the W's. But those are two ways you can break down the problem. You could also look at a problem as cause and effect if you wanted to do that as a way of also describing that problem in more detail. For the solution, we want to make sure we talk about the solution and how it solves the problem. So here I'm suggesting maybe you break it down into three parts. What the solution is and the other W's of the solution, the steps or actions required for this solution, and an explanation or description of how this solution actually solves the problem or perhaps solves the causes of the problem. And you repeat that for that next solution. Now, if none of those examples happen to work for your topic the way you're perceiving it, you can also try listing questions for your information can answer, such as a basic question about your topic, a follow-up question that goes into a little more depth, and another question that makes sense after the first two questions have been answered. But ideally, when you plan, you have 3 to 5 sections at the end of the step. Too few, you get stuck, too many, and you got random disconnected information. And of course, if you're totally stuck, email me. I'd love to help. So this is what you're looking at for your document. You type in a short phrase or description or question for each of these sections. The number and the color coding we're going to use on later steps. So we're kind of basically creating a key first. If you want to see what this looks like filled out, I'm going to reference an example, but please know that for the example, it's not a problem solution. It's a different project than what you're doing now, but it does follow the same steps because these steps work not just for problem solution projects. So for example, this topic is about tropical rainforest animals that are endangered in tropical rainforests and what can be done. So the 4 sections this student had are, what are the animals of the tropical rainforest that are becoming or already are endangered? What are some causes of animals becoming endangered in tropical rainforests? So notice we've got a problem and a cause. We also have some of the causes of animals being endangered in Africa. So specifically Africa as opposed to tropical rainforests. And then the fourth part is what are some things being done to protect these animals, which clearly is getting after a solution. At this point, go ahead and take a look at your information, your ideas, and create your section headings or these labels to drop into these boxes. Please make sure you put them in the order that makes the most sense. So again, problem solution, that's 2, but how you're breaking that down into more specificity to make your next steps easier as well.